back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've all been good, folks. Honestly, I hope everyone's been great. Thank you very much. Hot Dogs with Tea Boys. This is episode 13. That's right. UK Post 31 film review. That's right. Yeah. That's what. I'm your host. Mr. Dan Nostalgia. Yes, baby. Yes. And today's film is Twin Time, released on 11th of April 1997, directed by Kevin Allen, screenplay by Kevin Allen and Paul Duden, starring Douglas Scott, Dorian Thomas, William Thomas, Sue Roderick, Rhys Ifans, and Lear France. Cinematography, John Matheson. Music by Mark Thomas. Distributed by Polyfilm Entertainment. Budget of £1.7 million UK pounds. Plot: the Lewis twins, known in the area as Swansea and Port Talbot for stealing cars and joyriding, having laughs and consuming drugs, living their life, living in a caravan with their parents and older sister. As the others work, the Lewis twins enjoy causing chaos in this dark comedy crime drama. After a fall from a ladder whilst working on a roofing job, Friday Lewis is injured and set for a layoff. The twins decide to visit Bryn Cartwright, a prominent businessman and local gangster, for a visit to seek compensation, holding him accountable for the pair sent away with barely nothing. But the situation isn't so easily settled. After ruining the Cartwright's night out, soon enough this feud quickly boils over. Further after, things go wrong, resulting in multiple deaths, fueling the problem even more with revenge and retaliation. Comparisons with Danny Boyle's Trainspotting, with this being the Welsh counterpart to the UK blockbuster a year later, but they had big shoes to fill and didn't quite live up to the mark as much as Trainspotting had. Its co-writer Paul Duden cameoed as the rude taxi driver parked outside the train station. You didn't expect this scene or the dialogue to come, but we kept laughs when he appears. I didn't expect it. Hot Dog Run being important due to the working title before the finished product, and that was a name for it while being made. And then obviously somewhere in there, Hot Dogs, it is and boy back. They come to it. La Cha Cha, written by Kevin Allen, bringing back the original cast during the COVID lockdown through smartphones, bringing in faces from Gavin and Stacey and the It Crowd, also featuring Kevin's son Alfie in 2001, which I did see this on DVD a few days ago, so I might have to bring that up. A sequel was planned, said Allen in 2009, bringing back the Lewis twins from North Africa after leaving the burial seat of Fatty Lewis with the church choir and the fireworks script, having the characters convert to Muslims. But the idea was called off after 3 years. Allen reignited his plan in 2016, talking to the Wales Online about a sequel set in Nelly about political spin-off, but still holds its comedy value centered around legalizing the use of cannabis. Could see them bringing back the Lewis twins for a cameo or supporting role. Why not? The film's location setting took place in Port Talbot and was set in Swansea. Scenery shots and locations for the train station were used where the words by Dylan Thomas' ambition is critical, where Scott's character's dialogue changing the words to pretty shitty city comments while waiting for the contact. And that went around for years. People are saying that, especially in my area. Allen grasped the Welsh culture in a way. He gripped the mannerisms and captured the script about the heart of the community, right down to the extras being locals, all contributing to what the director was seeking, capturing the Welsh spirit on a certain level. When you're around Welsh people, you feel that, especially rugby. believe me. A grounded reality of a time, but never without its moments, never ever without its moments or characters. Provocative notion. Number 1. Did the truth about the caravan fire come to light with the locals in the aftermath of Fatty Lewis's burial scene? The truth ever bubbled to the surface because I would have loved to know what would have happened. Bryn and Terry both dead. Did Grail get left holding the bag? Was he the fall guy, or was this swept under the carpet by him and left at that, refusing to seek out the Lewis twins, not really having a grudge against them? Possibly, you never know. Provocative notion number 2. How did the time just after the death of the Lewis family and Bryn and Terry's disappearance, plus no sign of the Lewis pit? First reaction would have been shock, then the speculation about what happened, as you would imagine when shit hits the fan and people are left to smell it. Maybe the sequel could give us an explanation or a brief reference, something for the fans. You know, come on Kevin, make it happen. Shootout in Swansea, making of Twin Town, TV documentary by Richard Barber, behind the scenes interviews with cast and crew, which you may be able to find on YouTube, which I'll have to look for. Rotten Tomatoes scored this 46% out of an audience of 13. Other critics have given this film similar scores, unfavourably being compared to Trainspotting. Against big shoes to fill, and I'm standing with Adam on this one. Danny Boyle churned out masterpieces, but I'm standing with Kev on this one. Twin Town, baby, Twin Town. Twin Town being springboard for 2 of the film's cast. Rhys Evans and Doug Scott, both excelling in big UK and Hollywood careers, spanning 26 years. Evans went on to feature in Notting Hill, 51st State, Little Nicky, Hannibal Rising, Mr. Nice, good film. Harry Potter, The Amazing Spider-Man, Glass Call, Spider-Man No Way Home, The Kingsman, Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, which so is season 2, and Berlin Station from 2016 to 2019, and then briefly led a vocalist with a rock band known as Super Furry Animals. I think it takes you back if you're from the area. And part 2 of this is Scott is featured in Mission Impossible, The Hitman, Taken Free, Release Game, Desperate Housewives, Batwoman, The Impact, and Soldier in the early 90s ITV programme. Definitely was on the cards at one point. You knew it was coming. Scott being linked with the James Bond role. But lost out to Daniel Craig. Maybe Scott could get a recall. But my first pick would be Richard Madden from HBO's Game of Thrones and the BBC limited series Bodyguard. And they've literally given him roles where it's James Bond with a different label. So, and then offered a role to Scott and Elba in the franchise, so maybe Hiddleston. And that's just my thoughts on the 007 setup, folks. You go down that road another day. Many of the cast, extras, featured heavily in BBC and ITV and Sky programmes for the years since 1997. Some like William Thomas, who played Bryn Cartwright, featured prominently on various shows. He was a comedy on BBC One many years ago, which was quite nice. A comedic use of crime, drug theme, and dark comedy set within the Welsh community that gives every character their time to shine, from Diaries, the Karaoke King, to Fat Lewis, Bryn Cartwright and Amy Lewis, then to Chips Roberts, and of course the main stars, the Lewis twins. Brilliant chemistry, banter, plenty of laughter. Even the dialogue about the bottle of Coca-Cola from the show, from a Welsh perspective, can go hand in hand with an everyday scenario. and sort of numbling over prices. It's The crime story element nearly had all the right ingredients for a good revenge story. An unnecessary death, an accidental death changes and raises the stakes. Sparking a feud for Swansea and Port Talbot. Far from perfection, yet this film holds Welsh nostalgia. This film holds a truth of roots and locals at their most crazy and logical in a cult classic from Wales. It should be underlined. It's underrated, mainly due to a non-Welsh audience unable to appreciate its uniqueness. It's the simple noir story, one you shouldn't skip, folks. I wouldn't be surprised if Rob Elmy and Ryan Reynolds themselves have seen this film. So please, get a taste of Welsh culture, peel back your eyelids for this beauty, especially for the Welsh choir scene. Truly amazing show, folks, one of the best. It's the beauty of the country, one beautiful country. I'm going to give this film 3.5 out of 5, that's right. So, getting to my last segment. What have you been watching? Holy smokes, we blitzed through Batman catalogue this week. From Tim Burton's double feature, Christopher Nolan trilogy, Zack Snyder's DCEU, and Matt Reeves' gritty detective approach for depicting the Cape Crusader through different tales, analysing what each chapter brought to the table, which interpretation lent comic book accuracy the most. Interesting when you take elements of each character scenery set in, and then you get the Batman and the Bruce Wayne, and then you crave for on screen, me being one of them, and then they're don't feel satisfied with the casting choices or the concepts based from the pages that's being put into adaptation. Yes, I would like to see that. I would like to know your opinion on that one, but that's a theory for another day. Superheroes and comic book stories. So, I just want to say thank you for the views. Please like, subscribe, follow, comment, view, holler at me, talk to me, please. Thank you very much. And I want to give a shout out to my Brenda. God bless you. Thou shalt not fall. So, I want to finish this day, this podcast, by saying, hope you all take care of yourselves and I hope you're all good. Take care and thank you once again. I'm Dan Nostalgia and this is UK Outpost 31.